All right, let's do another example for solving trig equations. This time you'll notice we have a fraction being multiplied by our theta. Hopefully you're remembering that we want to think of all of this as just x. And so when we go to the unit circle, we're just going to look where is secant, or what angle is going to give us a secant of -2. Well, the unit circle is real easy to find sine and cosine. So instead of secant, let's change this to cosine of x. And cosine of x is the reciprocal of secant of x, so this should be -1/2. And where on the unit circle is cosine -1/2? That is at 2 pi over 3, and it is at 4 pi over 3. Okay, so now we're ready to deal with this. So notice this equals x, and so do these. So we're going to set up two equations. We're going to say 3 theta over 2 equals 2 pi over 3. And 3 theta over 2 equals 4 pi over 3. Then we are going to use general form, so plus 2k pi plus 2k pi. Now we clean it up. So one at a time, let's clean this up. This guy right here, to get rid of this 3/2, we're going to multiply it by 2/3. Okay, that'll cancel both of those out, and so we're going to multiply this whole thing over here by 2/3 as well, and remember that distributes. So right here we'll have theta equals 2 times 2 is 4 pi over 3 times 3 is 9. And over here we'll have 2 times 2 is 4k pi over 3. And then let's do the same thing over here. Multiply the whole thing by 2/3. So 2/3 times here gives us theta. 2/3 times here gives us 8 pi over 9. And 2/3 times here gives us plus 4k pi. Now we're ready to find our solutions between 0. So theta needs to be between 0 and 2 pi. We can include 0, but not 2 pi. All right, so let's start off with k equals 0. Now when k equals 0, we end up with theta equals 4 pi over 9 plus 0, or 4 pi over 9. We also end up with theta equal 8 pi over 9 plus 0, or just 8 pi over 9. Then when k equals 1, we end up with theta equaling 4 pi over 9 plus, and if we plug in 1 here, we have 4 pi over 3. So when we combine these, we need common denominators. So I'm going to leave the first one at 4 pi over 9. I'm going to change the second one to have a denominator of 9. So if I make the denominator 9, I multiply this by 3. So I need to multiply the top by 3 as well. So this would be 12 pi over 9. 12 and 4 is 16. Okay, so there is when k is 1 for this guy. Now 2 pi is the limit right here. And if we think of this in ninths, this is 18 pi over 9. So we can kind of look at this. How much difference happened from here to here? 4 pi over 9, right? And so then from here to here, how much difference happened? Well, more than 4 pi over 9. So my point is that the next one's going to be too big, because we're going to definitely add more than 2 pi over 9. So this is our last one. So these are our two answers. If we were to do the next one, we would have theta equals 8 pi over 9 plus 4 pi over 3, or 8 pi over 9 plus 12 pi over 9, and 8 and 12 is 20 pi over 9, which is too big. So our final answer is this first one, 4 pi over 9. Let's use a different color. So theta equals 4 pi over 9. The second one, 8 pi over 9. And the third one, 16 pi over 9. And there you go.